for tonight is a very, very special topic. Okay, it is about the latest changes in cancer insurance. What we mean here, the cancer insurance, it's really about your hospitalization insurance when it comes to cancer coverage. Yeah, but this so long the title, how to fit inside this poster. So just cancer insurance for short, but really it's about hospitalization insurance. Okay, with the introduction of the latest changes, you would have probably read it in the news as well, right? It is no longer as charged, right? What does that mean? How would it affect cancer treatment cost? I'm sure everyone has some burning questions, which is why our two other behind the scene colleagues, Justin and Rebecca, you don't see them on video, but they are having multiple screen, multiple tentacles, multiple arms and fingers to make sure everything runs smoothly tonight. For the panelists, we're very happy because we only do half a laundry. Okay, we just need to do the top. The bottom laundry, no need to do, just wear home clothes. So there you go, the privilege of having webinar. I'm sure you guys are also comfortable in your home clothes, you know, in your sofa, on your bed or whatever. Okay, so I request you to type your questions in the Q&A box. If you are on Facebook Live, no worries. You can also type in the within the Facebook chat or comment, right? And we will try to answer as many of your questions as possible. Okay, so you are actually live on Zoom. You are also actually live on Facebook. What happens is when it's live on Facebook, you can go back to listen to the recording, right? Before I introduce our guest for tonight, I must assure you, tonight's session is purely educational. Okay, so we'll keep this session light-hearted. Sit back, relax, enjoy your time while the speakers share some of their thoughts on the latest changes when it comes to cancer coverage for your insurance. How does it impact me and you, right? Most importantly. So if you're watching, share with your friends whom you think will benefit. If you look at my background there, there's a QR code. It's actually our Facebook page, right? We show all the recording there. You can also visit our PhillipCapital YouTube channel, right? All our past AMA webinar series are also there for your viewing. Okay, so during this session, that is the chance where you ask your questions and it will be answered live by our own financial specialist for tonight. Okay, now let's go on to the next slide if I can. Okay, I am very thrilled to introduce three of our financial specialists. We have Louis, we have Charles, we have Alice for tonight. Okay, let me introduce in this order, but that doesn't mean that is the order of importance. Okay, the first one, Louis. Let's have Louis. Okay, Louis is our Senior Financial Services Director. He is also a certified financial planner. Okay, and he manages a team of 15 specialists, over 3,000 clients under their care, and over 250 million of assets under their care. Okay, to you, Louis, what do you have to say? Maybe you want to say hello to your audience. Louis is a new daddy, okay, for those who are watching us tonight. You can congratulate Louis. So yeah, Louis, over to you.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you for joining. Good evening. All right. So yeah, so this ask me anything question. So just shoot whatever question you have, and then we'll try to answer all the questions if possible in this session. All right.
Thank you very much, Louis. There, short and sweet. We now have Charles. Let's flash Charles' slide. Like Louis, Charles is dual license. Okay, many of Louis' team members are actually dual license. So what does it mean when I say, hey, they are dual license? Okay, it means that they are both, they are trained and qualified in both stock trading matters, okay, 买股票 stock trading and financial planning matters. Okay, Louis have been, as Charles have been in the industry for very long, 13 years. Okay, I'm sure he has loads to share, whether it comes to his clients, whether it comes to his own experience, his family. Let's have Charles say a few words to you. Over to you, Charles.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Okay, thank you for joining. Hope everyone had taken your dinner. Sit back, relax, and hope you find this session informative. Hey, thank you.
Great. Very good, very good. We move on to the rose among the thorn for tonight. Looking very good. We have Alice tonight. Okay, Alice is one very interesting lady. Okay, why? Why do I say that? Because for this passion, right? She left her 12 years advertising career to join this financial advisory field. It started with her helping her family and friends, but it is really the pandemic, right, that has let her witnessed firsthand on how proper financial planning can help so many in protecting their loved ones. So my lady, can we hear a few words from you as well?
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. We look forward to answering your questions about hospitalization insurance. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. Now let's get our audience. They have been relaxing too much, right? So let's get them to do some work, to exercise their fingers a little bit. We get to know our audience for tonight better. A very, very big group we have tonight. Q&A again already keep coming. I encourage you guys to type in the Q&A, right? We will try to answer, maybe not all, it is only 1 hour session, right? We try to answer as many as we can. Let's start with our first poll. Do you know what an integrated shield plan is? Okay, don't worry, nobody would know whether you answer yes or no. Okay, we just want to know what is the profile of tonight's audience. Okay, if you know, then put yes. That's number 1. Number 2 is no. Number 3, not sure. Maybe I heard shield plan, but what is integrated shield plan? Right? Don't be shy. It's okay. That's why we are here. Not me lah, the specialists. I'm here also with my notepad already and my pen, to take as many notes as possible. So, Facebook friends, please feel free. You are also invited for this poll. Start typing in your answer. We would like to know, our audience tonight. Do you know what an integrated shield plan is? First, yes. Number 2, no. Number 3, not sure. Yeah, so if you're on Facebook, just put in the chat box. Is it a 1, 2, or 3 answer? We just give it a little bit more. Yeah, your participation is crucial. Otherwise, the show will not go on. So please, everyone must type. Is it a yes, a no, or a not sure? Whoa. Okay, very good. We have a bunch of very, very educated and very knowledgeable audience. Whooping 78%, 77% actually have replied yes. They know what is an integrated shield plan. That makes our panelists' job a lot easier. Okay. 4% say no, I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. That's why you're here. And those 19% say not sure. Okay, now let's go on. Let's close this poll. I will go on to my next slide. My first question to my panelists tonight. Explain exactly what the question in the poll was, right? What exactly is an integrated shield plan? Okay, is it necessary to have one? Who among my panelists tonight would like to start the ball rolling? I've been talking a lot tonight, so over to you.
Yeah, I think the best way to start this session is to have a quick 5 minutes recap. Okay, even though 77% of you say that you understand about shield plan, that's good. All right, but we actually prepare a very nice summary for you, okay, so that we all will start on the same page. Okay, so why not, Charles? You can explain about this summary.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Luis. He passed the ball to you, Charles, so no choice. You will
Well, I
have to.
think 77% no, so I can go home already. Yay.
Okay, come.
Okay. So okay, can we go to the next slide? Okay, so okay, what is hospitalization insurance? Okay, so in Singapore, we contribute to CPF, right? So we contribute to CPF, they split to 3 accounts. So ordinary account, special account, and also Medisave account. So Medisave account, we treat it as a saving account for our medical bill. Okay. There's a limit of how much we can use, and also there's a cap on how much we can use also. So the government was thinking, oh, so this is only a single account. So what happens if we incur a huge medical bill? So what can we do? So actually, they come up, they make it compulsory for Singapore citizen and permanent residents to get Medishield Life. Okay. So before we continue, let's take a look at the medical bill on the left. Okay, the yellow portion you can see the Medishield Life. So with Medishield Life, right, it will cover part of your medical bill also, but of course not all. It depends on type of ward you stay, and also which hospital you go to. So as you know, as Singaporeans, we like to upgrade our fast food meal, right? So most of us also, we upgrade from Medishield Life, we upgrade to Integrated Shield Plan. So with Integrated Shield Plan, right, I should say, in majority of the medical bill, right, on the left, the gray shaded part, right, most of the medical bill will be covered. Okay, there's a term for this coverage, we call it extra coverage. Okay, but there's always a but. You can see the orange portion right on the left of the medical bill, right? The co-insurance and the deductible. Okay, the co-insurance and deductible, right? Okay, these two elements, right, are not covered by Integrated Shield Plan. So deductible can range from anything from 1,500 to 3,500. Okay, and co-insurance, right, can range anything from 5% to 10%. So these two, right, will not be covered by Integrated Shield. So what people do, most of people will buy a rider, okay, on the left hand side of your slides. Okay, the rider will, with the rider, right, you will cover both the co-insurance and the deductible. Okay, the premium for the rider, right, you can pay only by cash. Whereas for Integrated Shield, right, the premium, right, you can pay by your Medisave, but there's also a limit that is implemented by government, anything ranging from $300 to $900. So I should say with Integrated Shield Plan and also your rider in place, right, I should say 95% of your medical bill will be covered. Okay, but there's always a but here. The portion in red, the 5%. Okay, the 5% will be borne by the patient himself, because the government introduced this in 2018 to stop the people from abusing our hospital facilities in Singapore. Okay, so yeah, so basically that's the whole concept of the hospitalization insurance. Yeah.
Thank you, Charles. I like especially this pyramid on the right, because it gives us a very good idea, right? What we have, right? Medisave, which like what Luis mentioned, is something that every Singaporean or every PR would have as the most basic, right? Then comes the Medishield Life that takes care of our medical. Then the integrated shield, which we're gonna cover a lot, right, in this discussion tonight, and then the rider. So this slide very important, but don't worry too much, okay? Don't be too busy getting yourself taking photograph, taking screenshot and things like that, because we will send you a post-event EDM, an email, right, which contains the recorded session for tonight, right? So if you think, yeah, I cannot remember, I didn't manage to take that screenshot. In fact, we want you to just focus, just pay attention, because when you take screenshot, then you may miss out important things that our panelists are saying, right? And they're only here for this 1 hour. So treasure that. Let's go on to the next slide. Yes. Okay. You will keep hearing integrated shield plan. If you so we put this pyramid here again for you to refer, right? It refers to that gray layer there before the rider. Okay. What does integrated shield plan cover? Isn't my MediShield Life alone sufficient? Is that true? Many people may think that, right? Never mind, I already have, the government give MediShield already. I'm covered, right? So is that really so? Maybe we let our panelists explain who is gonna start for this particular question. My pen is ready for me to take notes.
Yeah, I think I just add on a bit, because I think Charles has covered the whole summary. Okay, and I think Vivi does not say given by government, right? Actually, it's not really true. It's not free, okay.
My saving,
we
right?
still have to pay free. Yeah, it still have
my
to
salary over there.
Medisave as well, yeah. So, but anyway, MediShield Life, of course, is a basic coverage which every Singaporean PR will sure have compulsory. You cannot opt out anyway, right? But only cover up to government hospital B21 and below, right? And also for every type of treatment, right? There is a sub limit on the coverage as well, right? So, I mean, there is no certainty that whenever the hospital bill incurred during admission, okay, will be fully covered if you only have MediShield Life. All right. I think at least also have quite a fair bit of things to share. Maybe if you at least can share your view as well.
Yeah, so it's important to note that pre and post treatment fees are not covered for MediShield Life. Integrated Shield Plan (ISP) includes pre and post hospitalization fees up to 180 days for pre, 365 days for post, and outpatient treatments as charged. Second thing is with ISP, you can stay in a ward with aircon. If you're not comfortable to stay in a ward with 6 or 8 people, or you want to stay in a ward with 4 people or less. So it is a higher ward class, B1 and above. Third one is ISP provides higher claim limits up to 2.5 million. So there's a limit to MediShield Life. Fourth, you can also have like overseas emergency treatment. For example, we're going on a holiday and unfortunately there's an accident, is reimbursable. Fifth is you get to choose the doctor specialist under private. With government, with MediShield Life, you are assigned. So, and of course, with the latest changes in cancer treatment coverage, MediShield Life has very limited coverage for cancer treatment, which we will share more shortly.
Thank you, Alice. One point you mentioned earlier caught my attention. You mentioned integrated shield plan (ISP) provide a higher claim limit of up to 2.5 million, right? And this is a higher limit compared to MediShield Life. So why is our MediShield Life limit? I'm just curious, even as a moderator.
It's 150,000. Yeah. Per year.
Okay. Oh, wow, that's quite a lot of difference. Then the mention about pre and post is not covered. I mean, if you have loved ones, or friends who are in this situation, you would know it just keep adding up. And when someone is ill, you don't say no, right? Just say, yeah, okay, please proceed. Think of the bill later, right? But so very, very real situation, right? On when it comes to medical bill. Let's go on to the next slide. Thank you. So we just want to share this article on Channel News Asia, which is less than 2 months old. Again, highlighting to many of us on the changes to integrated shield plans, right? Some of you may think, hey, no lah, I settled mine already 5-10 years ago. I already buy something. No, I'm I'm good, you know, but not really, right? Because changes keep happening and your coverage will hence be affected. So how does it affect cancer patients with the changes taking effect? What do we have next? I think maybe time for the audience to do some work. Next slide. Let's look at the next slide. Is it poll? Yes, it's a poll. So referring to that article, maybe some of you saw before, maybe you ignore it because you think you are fine, or maybe some of you are really hearing it for the first time. Are you aware of the latest changes on your ISP? Okay, again, very, very simple. Yes, no, tell me more, poll. So let's start the poll. Open to all Zoom clients, open to all Facebook client. Yes, no, or tell me more. Are you aware of the latest changes? Are you keeping track? Drawing out table, you know, what is before, what is after? Are you aware of the latest changes? Number 1 is yes, number 2 is no. Number 3, please tell me more. I tell you my answer. No lah, you answer first. Later I share my answer. Oh, wow, yes. A lot of audience tonight is same as me. 62% say, please tell me more. Okay, so again, you know, precious time we have with the 3 panelists. 62% say, tell me more. 27% say they are aware of the integrated shield plan. That's great. And 11% say not aware. Okay, or which would then bring us to the next slide. Okay, this one, a lot of information, okay. I am going to pass over to whoever who is going to explain this. We have also done a little bit of homework because this table that we obtain, sometimes even the table that you read from anywhere, it will have all this short form, right? Then, what is that? So we have put a little legend there for you on the top right-hand corner. What is CDL? What is CDS? What is MSHL? Okay, so let's have our panelists tonight explain the various changes. Why do they say 2018? I think it's because there are changes in 2018 and yet there are changes still happening, right? But I'll leave it to them to give us more detail about what is this slide all about. All right, over to you.
Yeah, actually, this slide is probably the key content of this webinar. Okay, and of course, we will get Alice. Okay, she actually prepared this slide and then a very nice summary. Yeah, so at least you can probably just go through the point that you have. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there have been so many changes since 2018 that it could be really hard for the client to keep up with the different changes. Can see a good number of you not sure what the latest changes are. So the first one, mandatory co-payment. So a hospital plan rider used to cover 100% of the hospital, but it is no longer the case. So rider co-payment is either 5% or 10%, which include deductible and co-insurance, meaning customer has to pay 5 or 10% of the hospital bill, capped at 3,000 if the doctor is on panel under the insurer list, which links us to the second point, panel versus non-panel doctor list. So if your doctor is non-panel, there is no cap at 3,000. It will depend on the insurer plan you are on. With a combination of many factors such as healthcare inflation, many people are getting sick, which leads to higher claims. Insurers and MediShield Life have revised their premiums for private government hospital plans and even MediShield Life itself for the lowest wards. So the insurer and so lastly, right, the latest change, which happened in April 2023, is cancer treatment is no longer as charged, meaning there's a limit of how much cancer treatment or cancer services can be claimed if a customer goes through cancer treatment. The limit can be revised by MOH at any time. It is not definite. So if you look at the table left before April 2023, you can see that the radiotherapy for cancer, chemotherapy for cancer, and immunotherapy for cancer is as charged, meaning to say that it's part of the integrated shield plan coverage. But after April 2023, the table on the right, you can see that the benefit has changed to cancer drug treatment and cancer drug services. And you can also see that MediShield Life, there's a limit of how much you can claim a month for cancer drug list, and a limit to how much you can charge. You can claim a year for cancer drug services. And under integrated shield plan, there's a limit. So it's like a multiple 5 or 4 or 3 against on top of what MediShield Life is providing. So these are the changes that is happening right now since April 2023.
Thank you, Alice. Wow, you know, this slide, as Louis said, is the most important slide. Is also it's really a lot of information here, right? But what I can really draw is being able to claim as charged in the past versus now no longer as charged. I think that is a crucial big difference, right? That will impact many of us here who is listening tonight. Yeah, wow. Yeah, because you know of people who have cancer, and the bill is really no joke, right? Is there any if I do something earlier, right? Will it be cheaper, or it actually doesn't make a difference because this is MediSave? What or the
actually,
earlier the
probably
better,
just
or no
to
difference?
actually it's the same, because this is a rule that apply to every insurer, every shield plan. So and the government says so, so they all insurer have to follow. Yeah.
Okay. Let's look at the next slide, if I can just cover to follow what was the previous slide, right? So what are the latest cancer coverage changes when it comes to integrated shield plans, and how does it impact me? Yeah. So that is certainly linked to the table we were showing previously. So anyone who would like to answer this question? Luis, maybe you want to start?
Yeah. Okay. I think you can see the earlier slide, the table, right? As such become no longer as such. Okay, and the other key thing is also what cancer drugs will be used for the treatment is also an unknown, right? Because for laymen like us, right, it's quite impossible for us to know what drugs will be used for this cancer treatment. Most people will just don't go to see specialist, take doctor advice, right? Yeah, so it actually create uncertainty of when we go for a cancer treatment. Okay, we are not sure whether the entire cancer treatment can be covered or not, because sometimes, all right, the doctor may suggest to use the cancer drug that is not in the approved drug list. Then that is actually not even inside the coverage. Yeah. So that is the biggest impact to me.
Yeah. And I can imagine, right, if you have someone that you love and the doctor is recommending that, you won't say, oh no, you just choose the one that is in the covered list, right? So a very, very difficult decision, definitely, right? So being aware and to plan early, I think it's very important. Charles, sorry I cut you there. You wanted to add something.
Yeah, so even if you're using the approved drug list, right, there's also a limited coverage amount. So if the treatment bill exceeds the coverage, right, the patient have to pay the remaining bill.
According what I heard from my doctor friends, cancer treatment usually start with drugs in the cancer drug list, but if it's not working on the patient, potentially may use drugs that are non-CDL list. So there are also like rare cancer treatment that may even start with non-cancer drug list. It is quite hard to tell you what is the probability of cancer treatment from CDL or non-CDL drugs. And I believe when it comes to cancer treatment, we do not want to play with the probability. We want to be well covered and leave the financial worries behind. So in summary, with the latest changes, we cannot just rely on basic shield plan anymore.
Wow. The subject is getting more serious, but really it's very real, right? It's very real. Then I mean, it's we in PhillipCapital, we really believe in education first, right? And then you see what you need after we educate you, right? So Luis, for example, is always conducting training and webinars as well, you know. So I think that is key to be aware, right? What is your action, right? After listening, or, oh, never mind, next round I'll just go and attend again, you know, for knowledge. But sometimes it's just not for knowledge, right? It's after you know what do you want to do about it, right? So let's look at the next slide. Before we lose focus, we just, in view of the recent change in cancer treatment coverage, is there anything I should do? Yeah, what should I do?
Yeah. Okay. We're actually seeing some of the question coming in. We will try to answer that later, because I think it's good to flow through the slide so that it's easier for us to explain. Okay. Yeah. So what should we do, right? I think in the market right now, in the industry, so-called, there are so-called some riders that can add on to your hospital insurance to increase your cancer treatment coverage. But one of the problem is, not the problem, the biggest concern is because it's a rider attached to hospital insurance, right? And I think the earlier slide, Alice has shared that hospital insurance, the term and condition and the coverage, right, is on yearly renewal basis. Okay, that means every year when they renew, right, the new contract, okay, they can just say, no, hey, now I think government say cannot have this rider anymore, or maybe the insurance say, hey, this rider is probably not business friendly to them, then they can just change the rider coverage or even remove the rider anytime. All right. I mean, if you look at the product summary, you can see the cross over there. Okay, they actually can allow them to remove the coverage anytime. Okay, so it's good to have rider. All right. It doesn't mean you should not have. Okay, but it's just that we won't have the certainty of coverage if you just rely on this shield plan and rider. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Luis. Do we have anyone who wants to add on to what Luis has said?
Yeah. So although cancer treatment cost, right, is not fully covered, right, I think we should still have our shield plan, right, to cover major hospitalization expenses.
Yeah. Don't panic and try to, and don't panic. Don't try to switch to a lower tier plan or switch insurer because it's cheaper, especially if you have pre-existing conditions like high blood or diabetes, etc. It's better to stay with your current hospital insurer. Instead you can consider looking at your overall life coverage, supplement with critical illness coverage, depending on your entry age, right? With a cost of $1.40 a day, $1.40 is about the cost of a cup of coffee a day. You can get about 200K critical illness coverage.
Wow. Okay, that 140 is a very interesting number there. So it actually is affordable, right? It is not exorbitant. It's not for crazy rich Asian. It is actually affordable, right? If you plan properly, right? Of course, it doesn't apply across, right? But that is real numbers that they are dealing with day by day. So they on a daily basis. So yeah, do consider it. I think 140 a day for 200,000, not too bad, I thought. Yeah. Okay, let's look at what we have next. Oh, okay, it's back to the audience. All right, our last poll for tonight, our last chance for you to exercise your fingers. Okay, what is your biggest concern now that you have heard more from Alice, Louise, and Charles on the explanation, right, when it comes to changes, what is covered, what is not covered? What is your biggest concern on integrated shield plan? Is it 1, rising premium costs? Is it 2, insufficient coverage? Is it 3, unable to claim for certain treatment? Is it 4, delayed treatment? Let's have the audience tell us more about what worry them the most. Number 1, rising premium costs. Number 2, insufficient coverage. Number 3, unable to claim for certain treatment. And number 4, delayed treatment. What worry them the most? Same thing, those who are on Facebook, just type in the chat box. We would like to hear from you as well. Single choice. Actually, every item worries me, man. But choose which one worry you the most. Okay, 45%. 45% of our audience is most worried about unable to claim for certain treatment. Number 2, very close fight with number 3 is at 27%. The audience worry about rising premium costs. And then coming very close at 26% is insufficient coverage. And 2% are worried about delayed treatment. Okay, so that is something for our panelists to know what to address given the profile of tonight's audience. Okay, let's go on. What is the next question? We still have a few more questions that we can draw the expertise of our panelists. What are some of the most common concerns? The audience tonight already told you their most common concern. You can tell us what are the most common concerns you hear from your 3,000 over clients on integrated shield plans.
Actually, the poll question are actually common concern that we receive from our client. Right? I can tell almost every week we have shield plan claim. Okay, it's true. Okay, we have been claiming shield plan, hospitalization insurance almost every week. Right? Yeah, but one of the biggest concern, if you ask me, right, which of course, I think many of you have chosen certain coverage, certain treatment is not covered. I think because right now of these changes, right? So that leads to why you all choose that one is number 1. Okay, but the other one, which I think a lot of people when they come to a certain age band, they start to see that, hey, how come a premium increase again? How come premium keep increasing, right? It has been increasing over the years. Okay, and sometimes the increase could be due to because you have entered into the next age band, all right? Because the shield plan actually based on age band, right? Yeah, so that is one possible reason, and that one is just naturally the premium go up. Okay, but the other possible reason of rising premium, even you are within the same age band, is because of rising medical costs and claim experience. Right, so this is most concern. Most people are concerned about. But I still think that you should continue with the shield plan, to have the shield plan.
Thank you, Luis. What about Charles or Alice? Anything to add for this?
Okay, so there's something to add. So sounds very complexity in coverage, right? So refer to the earlier slide with the pyramid, right, that I presented earlier, right? To make sure you know which insurer you are with. Because in the event of admission, right, you need to let the hospital know that which shield plan you are covered with.
Yeah, I think majority of the concerns is how to manage the rising cost of hospital plans. And unfortunately, this is really beyond our control as the cost management comes from Akong. As long as people continue to fall sick, claim experience will increase and will lead to increment in cost. As a consumer, even as myself, right, like what we can control is our diet, our health and fitness. Be healthy, and next we can choose which insurer hospital will be most suitable for us.
Okay, hey Charles, you mentioned about make sure you know which insurance company you have purchased your integrated shield plan with, right? So what if the audience say, yeah, I remember like got buy leh, but cannot really remember with who or from who. So where is there a place where they can check this easily?
Yes, you can just log into your
SingPass, is it?
CPF. Yeah, SingPass. CPF, use the
Okay,
SingPass to
okay.
check.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm. And go under the CPF tab.
correct.
Okay,
And-
okay. So that's something maybe some of you are already asking, right? Like have leh, but where do I check, right? So go to your SingPass, go to your CPF tab, and that's where you will be able to check that. Okay, I think we have just one last slide to cover. Okay, we have to very quickly address the Q&A. What should I do to get sufficient coverage? What should I do?
So I'll take this question first. There are many types of coverage. There's late stage CI coverage, stage 3, early stage CI coverage, stage 1, 2, and multiple CI coverage, meaning you can claim multiple times. For example, if there's recurring CI that will happen in the future. So I hate to use the term depending, but yes, depending on your budget, you should ensure that you have sufficient coverage for all stages of critical illness. The misconception about coverage is that it is expensive. It is untrue, as there are a lot of insurers who can provide competitive pricing.
Okay, that's very good tip there from Alice. What about Charles and Louis? Give us some good tips as well.
Okay, so my tip will be get the shield plan. Okay, get the rider. So top up with CI coverage, right? So if budget allow, you can opt for currently up to private hospital shield plan. Yeah.
Louis, anything you want to add?
I think we have shared enough on the coverage, premium, cost, all these. If can allow me to share one real case study. Okay, actually we prepared 10, right? But I don't think we have time. But maybe just share the next slide if you can allow me to share one real claim. All right, actual claim, and you know that actually, if you talk about premium increasing, it's still worth to pay the money. If you ask me. All right. Yeah. So of course, all client information are confidential, and this you can see this sharing is there's no client info, but I can tell the client is me, right? So this is actually a private hospital claim for 3 days, and actually my daughter, okay, I think at the time probably less than 2 years old, all right, and then got a hand foot mouth disease, right? Quite common illness for child, especially you send them to childcare, right? And I just received some news that my child got some food poisoning or something. Yeah. So I mean, of course, as the first time parents, we also nervous. Okay, we don't know what to do, and fever is actually near to 40 degrees. Okay, at that time. And that was right before the long holiday. Okay, I think it's Vesak Day. Okay, which actually same years as it's in last year probably, right? Yeah. So first time parents will see your child 2 years old, 40 degree. You can choose to send to KK, all right, emergency. But based on my experience, and also my friend sharing is, if you go to government hospital, if it's not emergency, they will just ask you go back, take Panadol, and then just monitor the temperature, all right? Because hand foot mouth disease, technically there is no cure, I just have to wait for the immune system to pass to cure it by itself, right? Yeah, so I know that because my daughter is actually covered under this private hospital shield plan and with rider as well. Okay, and I know I can immediately send to private hospital, which is the nearest hospital near to my house. And the hospital say, we actually have ward for you to stay, all right, if you want. Okay, then I know I can claim, all right, and I don't want to have the kind of stress. Actually, stress not on me, okay, it's my wife, right? Yeah. So that is the story, and then we admitted our child over a long weekend, 3 days staycation in a hospital, not hotel, right? And you see, the bill turned out to be 7.6 thousand for 3 days, so-called staycation in a 5-star hospital. And really 5-star because inside the hospital got playground, right? Right. So yeah, so this is a real claim. Okay, and that's why if you ask me, even with rising premium, I will still prefer to continue with private hospital coverage. Yeah.
Thank you, Louis, for sharing this quite a personal claim of his own, right? Actually, I tell you, to share 20 more examples, Luis also have, but what we don't have is time. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. In fact, it will be next. Yeah, there's more case 2, case 3. Okay. Just a very quick recap, right? Tonight we have Louise, Charles, and Alice. They are all very experienced financial specialists. Some before we go to the Q&A again, it's growing like crazy. The Q&A questions. There will certainly be questions that we won't be able to address given the time limit. We want to finish within an hour. Okay, but don't worry, all of them are quite active on social media, on sharing information with their followers and all that. So feel free to get in touch, to text them, whatever. You can also reach out directly to PhillipCapital. Yeah, so left and right contact is available to you. Even if you think, hey, there is this burning trending topic that I wish AMA series can address, we will be very happy as well. Yeah, the purpose of having AMA series is really to address your burning, most concerning topic when it comes to financial planning. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. This is what is behind me. Okay, if you can just take out your handphone and just scan the QR code, that's also where you can get in touch. If you think there are topics that you want to hear, if you want to listen to our past AMA webinars, or if you want to be informed about when is our next AMA webinar and what is the topic. Actually, I don't know what I'm supposed to say or not, but never mind, I'll let you know. The next AMA webinar is going to be in Chinese. Our very, very first AMA series in Chinese. Okay, not very covered market, but a lot of demand there for Chinese speaking audience. So if you want to know when, who is speaking, so you better follow the Facebook because I also cannot remember, but I know there's a Chinese one coming up. Very, very interesting topic. Okay, Q&A. All right, I want to go to Q&A. We are 10 minutes to 9. Let me see. I need Justin and Rebecca to help me because so many. Let me see. Okay, what about this? We answer this question from Valerie Wong. I like nowadays you all don't anonymous. It's okay lah, just share your name so that I can address you nicely. Valerie, you have a question. MediShield Life MSHL limit, CDL limit of 200 to 9,600 per month. How do we know what is our given amount? Yeah, it's a wide range, right? From 200 to 9,600. How do we know what is our range? What can I claim?
Okay, I can take this question. Actually, this one you need to know what kind of drugs is using from the for the treatment. Okay, so if you just Google MediShield Life cancer drug list, you will get a link to MOH website. Okay, and then on the MOH website, you can see that every drugs that they use, the limit is there. Limit per month is there. Some is $200 per month, some is 5,000, some is $300 per month. It really depends on what drug they are using. Yeah. So so this is a range if you only have MediShield Life. Okay, if you have individual shield plan, then there is a 3-time, 5-time multiple of this coverage. Okay, it's no longer everything they charge you can claim. It's all depending on this limit.
Okay. So there you go, Valerie. I hope your question has been answered by Louise. Let me take this next question. I also wonder, Kelvin asked this question. Why is this increasing and will it continue to increase? What does he, is it he's referring to cost, certainly cost, or is it premium increasing? But all in all, just answer like everything increase. My TC also keep increasing, right? So why is this increasing and will it continue to increase?
Okay, I think I can take a question.
Thank you, Charles.
Okay, so cost of hospitalization and treatment, right? Is increasing, hence it translates into premium, right? So cancer drug treatment, the cost also keep on increasing. So is the insurer pay the cost, right? It will also drive up your premium. So actually it will I believe it will keep on increasing the prices. Yeah.
So part and parcel of life. So no
Correct.
answer to that. It
answer
will.
to that.
So what
Yeah.
what you can do is, how do we prepare for it, right? It's inevitable that it keeps increasing. How do we prepare ourselves better for it, right? Nancy, let's have Nancy Chua's question. If you have existing condition, how can we purchase the insurance? Yeah. So does it mean no way already, or what is your experience? If we have existing condition, how can we still purchase the insurance?
Yeah, so existing condition can have many definitions behind it. So I do have like female clients who have cysts or like nodules in their body. So that's actually very, very common. So it depends how serious it is, and if so there'll be reports like to monitor as well the condition, if it's getting better or getting worse, because sometimes these can disappear as well. So it really depends what existing condition are you referring to, and some insurers underwriting can differ as well. So it really depends what condition you have and what insurance are you getting as well. So it really depends lah. Yeah, but it's something that usually we can also, because Phillip is independent financial advisory, so we can actually help customers, clients to apply to different insurers to get the best better underwriting outcome out of it.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope that answers the question. Okay, we next want to take a question from Zhao Gui. Okay, is there any overlap between CI meaning critical illness insurance, and hospitalization insurance? Who can take this question? Any overlap between CI insurance and hospitalization insurance?
This one I can take. Okay, so a lot of people ask, hey, I thought, hey, why don't I just have hospitalization insurance? I thought that is good enough. All right. Of course, now you know that it's no longer as such coverage, right, for cancer treatment. So of course you can add some rider to top it up a bit of coverage. Okay, but like we mentioned earlier, the main critical thing about hospitalization insurance is on yearly renewal. That means every year they might change the term and condition, they might change the coverage, and also change the premium if they want to. All right. Yeah. So why it's good to have a CI insurance in place is because when it comes to cancer treatment, right? Okay. Okay, not cancer treatment. When it comes to cancer diagnosis, okay, if touch wood, we go for some checkup and then doctor say, hey, we need to take out this tumor, whatever, to do whether it's to test whether it's cancerous or non-cancerous. Okay, and if really it's a cancerous, that means there's a diagnosis, there's a cancer, right? Then if you have critical illness insurance, all right, not hospitalization insurance, if you have critical illness insurance coverage, right, as long as there's a diagnosis of cancer, you will be able to claim the full amount from the critical illness insurance plan. Okay, it doesn't depend on what kind of treatment the doctor use, and that is very important, all right, because you don't want to, I mean, if really you've got cancer, we want to get as much claim as possible without worrying what kind of treatment is required and whether can claim or not. Yeah, so that's why CI insurance is totally different with hospitalization insurance, and I think it's good to have to supplement the things that are not covered from hospitalization insurance. Yeah.
Okay, I hope that Louis has addressed that question from Zhang. Yeah. Next one, very interesting. Actually, I had the same question as well when I joined PhillipCapital about 11 years ago. is Phillip selling insurance? Actually, when I first joined Phillip, I thought 就是卖股票的咯. You know, I didn't know as well, right? Because the name is Phillip Securities, right? That's why now increasingly you see the word PhillipCapital, Phillip Wealth Advisory, right? Actually, I let the panelists, right, answer this. Is Phillip selling insurance? PhillipCapital selling insurance? Yes. Who can answer this question?
Okay, me, I take this question.
Mm.
So Phillip founded in 1975, same age as me.
Wow,
1975.
now you reveal your age already. Oh,
Yeah. So
Uncle
actually,
Charles.
yes.
Yes. Over to you. Sorry to interrupt.
So everybody know about Poems, right? Actually, we are pretty famous because we're the first broking house actually started the DIY stock buying platform for us. So actually we have evolved. So we're no longer just a stockbroking house. Okay, we have more than 10 insurance company, and our distribution at the moment, right? That we are actually, but actually this is just an educational webinar. We're not here to sell insurance. So we're just here to educate. So let's say if you have any question, right, you can just speak to your trusted advisors. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I will just take one last question, okay? Because we have still one very important segment, which is key takeaway. Maybe one or two last question, okay? Key takeaway again. That's why it's key, right? So very important. I really don't want you to miss the key takeaway from our panelists. Maybe we take this question from Vin. Yeah, Vin asked this question. What is deemed sufficient coverage for a cancer patient? What is deemed sufficient?
Yeah, so it depends on the cancer patient, where you are at the stage of their life. If the cancer patient is a young working adult, many years ahead for the person, so it really look at because if you look at it, critical illness coverage, right, is really to cover loss of income. Because when you are sick, you are unable to work, there's no income at all. And the lump sum payout, right, is able to cover to replace the income, the years that you're unable to work. So, for example, if you are retired, you're a retiree, is critical illness coverage important? So with the new changes, right, with the integrated shield plan, the cancer drug list that's limited to the coverage. So you can actually use the critical illness coverage, right, to pay for the non-cancer drug list treatment. So there are a lot of ways, to supplement the treatment, since our hospital plan has been changing nonstop, and I'm very sure that in the future, right, we will continue to experience changes for our hospital plan. Yeah.
Thank you, Alice. Okay, I will just take one last one. Okay, one last one from Kai Jun Tae. Yeah, very nice of him to say thank you for having this session. Yeah, so all of us, including Justin and Rebecca behind the scene, are grateful for this. All six of us are hungry souls who haven't had dinner. Okay, so yes, appreciate the thank you. Just to confirm, if we have both an ISP, integrated shield plan, and MSL, MediShield Life, I quite good already now. And if a hospitalization claim is made against an ISP, then the payout will only come from ISP and not from MediShield Life. How does it work?
Okay, this one we claim every week. Okay, so we know the process. All right. So when you so-called upgrade, right, from your MediShield Life to integrated shield plan, okay, of course you pay a certain premium to the insurer, right? I mean, there are, I think, 7 or 6 insurance. Okay, you pay a premium to them. Okay, and in that ISP, right, it's actually a package. Okay, which the coverage come from the insurer itself, the private insurer itself, and also MediShield Life. Okay, so it is together. That's why they call integrated shield plan. Okay, so when you submit a claim, okay, actually it's not you submit the claim. The hospital will do e-filing. Okay, very important term, e-filing. Okay, remember one thing: if you need to admit the hospital, just tell the hospital, I have Shield plan. I need to do e-filing. Okay, so hospital will do e-filing. That means they will submit to the insurance company. Okay, which is from the private insurance company. All right, then the insurance company will do the claim for you. Okay, some of the claim come from the private insurer itself. Some of them will come from Medishield Life. But you don't have to worry about all this back end stuff because the insurer will settle everything for you. Okay? From your end, you are just liaising with the insurance company and hospital. And of course, best if you have a trusted advisor, the advisor will help you to do everything. All right? Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Very sorry. I still so many questions, but we can't answer all the questions. Later, I'll tell you how to get your question answered. Okay. Let me flash the next slide. Again, our panelists have compiled some of the very common FAQs, right, that they hear from their clients day in, day out. Okay, what we would do is we would compile this, put together within the EDM post webinar EDM that we're going to send you, complete with the answers. Okay, so at least that again answer probably some of the questions that are already in the Q&A. Okay, so these are the common FAQs. Should we switch? Should we downgrade? Is there a best insurance? Is there any top up we can do? What % of cancer treatments will fall within the drug list? Okay, we will give you the answer within the EDM. Okay, let's move on to the next slide, which is what I was waiting for. It is 9:05. We hope to close it very soon. Key takeaways from our panelists on latest changes in cancer coverage.
So latest change, key takeaway, government may regulate insurance integrated shield plan riders if cost of cancer continues to escalate. The hospital plan benefits will continue to evolve and we will have to adapt accordingly. Critical illness coverage doesn't have to cost a lot if you plan properly. So plan now to save yourself future monies.
That's a very good tip there. Thanks, Alice.
Thank you.
So, okay, for me, okay, in the past, right, okay, shield plan is a very solid shield plan. So everything was as charged, okay, everything is covered, but things have changed and we have to be more prepared when we come to hospitalization coverage. Yeah.
Yep. Louis.
Yeah, okay. I probably just sum up with 3 key points. Okay, hopefully this is a very informative session for you. Right, and I think number 1 is to understand the key changes. Okay, and I can tell you that this will not be the only change. Right, it will not be the last change for shield plan. Okay, so keep yourself informed. Okay, understand the changes. Okay, and also ensure that you're well protected. Okay, by supplementing with other insurance and not just shield plan alone. Okay, and last but not least, again, speak with your trusted advisor because they are the expert in this field. All right, to review your insurance.
Thank you. Let's have our concluding slide. Our last slide for the day. Again, I'm very sorry that some of your questions we are not able to answer, but not to worry. You can still contact them. Doesn't mean after this session they cannot contact anymore, no more. Close. Don't have you still can contact them, text them, chat with them, email to us, talk to Phillip at phillip.com.sg. Go and find your own specialist or go and find your own financial advisor. Just make sure you do a review, right? Doesn't mean you bought it a few years ago, you think you're fine, right? So it's good to do a review. It's important, right? Because changes keep happening, right? So what you used to have may not be sufficient, right? Or may not cover as many things as you think it will cover. Okay, so that's it. We have reached the end of tonight's session. I will announce the official end to this session. Look out for the recording on Facebook. Look out for the recording on our YouTube channel. And I would like to thank my very special guests tonight, right? Charles, Louis, and Alice. Yeah, for spending your evening with us, with many of the audience tonight. And I look forward to see everyone in our 讲华语 next AMA series webinar. Okay, so thank you very much. Look out for our post-event EDM. Okay, thank you very much once again. Bye bye and good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.